Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sama. So in this video I want to address this topic. People have been asking me, tagging me, Sama, what's your opinion about this story? You know, what do you think? Okay, now for anyone that does not know, there's a footballer. This is what I understand so far. So the story is that there's a footballer called Achraf Hakimi, right? And this is the story. That him and his wife got divorced, and when they got divorced, the wife was asking for half his this is how people put it, his properties. My opinion is going to be my opinion right now is going to be, to an extent, an unpopular opinion. Hear me out. This is, people ask for my opinion, and this is what my opinion is. So everybody is free to leave their own opinions, right? Okay, so they now said, okay, that's what happened. And then, oh yeah, and then she asked for half of his properties. And long story short, that the court found out that this guy has nothing, because everything he has is in his mother's name. Everything he has is in his mother's name. So his wife cannot get anything from him, because everything he has in his is in his mother's name. He has been putting everything, his salary, all his salary, everything in his mother's name. Now, let me actually make this point. I tried to look up this story, and I haven't found any of the reputable news outlets that I personally rely on, right? I have not seen where they covered it. And it's very easy for rumors to spread. And there are some people, famous people, that will never come out and actually address rumors that are going around. A lot of, when I say, I'm just being honest, I'm looking at BBC, CNN. The BBC, CNN have their sports sections. They haven't covered this story. You know, even my dear Punch News. I actually tried to look for it on Punch News, their website. They haven't covered this story. The story may not actually be exactly how people are sharing it. It's possible they've added salt and pepper and mixed it up on gongo. That's what we call it in my language, Igbo language. So we can't really rely on whatever is just trending on the internet. Personally, like I said, the reputable outlets that I want to see cover it, you know, that I know. There are some other outlets that may be reputable, but I do not know them. So this story may just be a rumor. But let's actually address the way the rumor is. Now, one term that I have personal issues with, or I would say does not make sense to me to a great extent, is when they say his properties. You see, let's not forget, if I'm not mistaken, going by their names, I'm thinking they are Muslims. What does Islam say? That's another aspect of it. Okay, but let me actually speak on this area. When they say his money, his this, or his wealth, his properties, and when I see Nigerians, they speak too about it, and I'm asking myself, shebi, when you go for marriage counseling or whatever, they always tell you that in marriage, there's nothing like mine, it is ours. Nothing like me, it is us. So when did we now start having his properties? Take a minute and listen to me. If in marriage, we are even raised, especially in our Nigerian culture, that a woman, once you marry, you and your husband are one. No. The Christians that are speaking, Bible says that two become one. So should people go into marriages with a woman from day one saying, I'm going to keep my own, the man keep his own? So it's not going to be a couple in when it comes to properties and stuff. It is his own and her own. So if we're going to handle marriages like that, people are supposed to then go into marriages to go and hustle for themselves. Abi, everybody hustle for yourself, because it is me versus. Okay, let me say this. There are some women, they say go digger, we know they exist. There are some women that have ulterior motives for getting married. There are a lot of, and men too. Let's not forget, we know of all these stories. But you can't just make assumption for everybody. If I could find the court transcript or authentic information, we can actually address exactly what the story is, because what we're going by is what is out there. Now, as a man or as a woman, when you go into marriage, should you go in there with the mindset of, from day one, I have to hustle for myself, so when it ends, I'm going to take my own, let him take his own, or let her take her own? Is marriage still a union of two people that become one or not? Is it? Let's be telling the truth. Okay, on the area of Listen to me. On the area of, oh, she wanted half his property and all of that. I was not there. I did not see court papers. But let's even say if that is true, people forget that when they go to court, you don't go to court and say, give me only €5. No. Typically, you will ask for more. From what I know, people, they ask for whatever. And then the court then will look at it. Don't forget that a woman cannot decide what she'll be given. Neither will a man decide. The court will have to look at whatever before they decide. So a woman cannot, I don't believe, a woman or a man, let's not forget, because that's another thing people forget sometimes. In some marriages, it's actually the woman that ends up paying the man. And that is okay as well. That is, if you guys, it's okay as well. I know of famous, popular, well-known, rich women, actresses, singers, that they end up paying the man. There are some that are actually paying the man monthly. In Western society, you have seen it. So, but the court does not decide, oh, she asked for it or he asked for it, give. No. They give according to, they look at what they look at your incomes and everything, and the court will decide. If truly she went there and said, I want 50%, if she said that, of course, if she goes to court, she's not going to ask for, give me only, like I said, she's not going to ask for only €5. The court will never, typically will not give you more than you asked for. And in most cases, they will not even give you exactly what you asked for. The court will have to weigh a lot of stuff. So there's no way you expect her to go there and say, give me only €1 a month, whatever. So she will chance her arm, and then court will meet her halfway, or sometimes whatever. But like I said, they look at her finances. Now, let me say this. This is the most important aspect. But when I see all this celebration, and I'm like, this is how I feel. There's so many immature minds out there. This is my opinion, right? If you from day one, you know that when a marriage ends, you do not want to give out 1 cent of what your property in a marriage, you don't want to share, you don't want to ever be in a position like that, sign a document called prenup. It's very easy. People shouldn't go into, you see, all this drama is unnecessary. People can go in from day one and say, let's sign a prenup. What you carry come, now you go carry come out. Whatever is yours, and whatever is mine. From day one, there will be no more, there will be no headache, there will be no so-called gold digging, there will be nothing like that. You see, the thing is this, right? In a lot of cases, I don't know their full story. There are a lot of women, culturally, we know in our culture, Nigeria, women are expected to cut down. If she was an entrepreneur, she was whatever she is, when she gets married, she's expected to leave all of those things and be a wife and a mother and run a home. Be there. Your husband is making money. What you define again? You see, I'm bringing it down to our Nigerian aspect because I know my audience are my people, right? So do we then, somebody was like, if he's your brother, if he's your son, if my son does not want to share what he owns, please let him sign a prenup from the beginning in the marriage. If tomorrow now the wife ends up becoming the billionaire, when the time comes, my son will go with whatever he owns. Because you see, marriage, nobody knows. But let me come back to what I was saying. Our culture says, women, cut down. You are built to be a mother and a wife, cook and clean and all of those. A lot of women give up their careers to become the home runners, running their families. They are the drop-off and the pick-up and the children in school and all of those things. And then a man is the one then hustling for money, and he's the one that built the house. He's the one that this and all of those things, right? And people look at her and say, she's just at home. He's the one making all the hustling. And the marriage ends. This woman who did the job of the nanny, unpaid. She was the job of the driver, taking the children to school and back. She was the, what's it called now? The cleaner, cleaning the house. She was the chef, cooking. She was the one doing the husband's ironing. And do you know how much it would cost if those people, if they were to employ all of these people to do all these jobs, a housewife? I'm bringing it down to our Nigerian environment now because, like I said, I'm addressing our people. If you think about how much salary those people would make, all these roles that the mother plays in the home, right? If you think about all of those roles, if they are being paid and you employ people to do all those things and you pay them monthly, and a marriage lasted, for example, let's say a marriage lasted 20 years. If you calculate how much those people will be paid, if the time the marriage is ended, Imagine that amount of money is given to that woman. Do you know what that woman would be? She would be swimming in money. But in a lot of cases, women begin to they quit their jobs to stay home and do this unpaid job. And people say, "Not just housewife now. Not just housewife." And then the marriage ends. She goes with nothing. This is what people believe in. She should go with absolutely nothing. The time and energy and everything she invested in the marriage, even though it was not directly financial investment, people see her like, "What do you mean? It is his property." Let's process these things. Let me tell you guys, I don't know, apparently the woman is rich herself from what I found out. You see, I went on to Daily Mail, I think, and they were saying she has her own money. She's an actress, she's whatever, and all of those things. But they never covered the story of her demanding 50% of his whatever. I have not seen, like I said, Daily Mail, BBC, CNN. I have not seen it. So please, if you guys see it, put it in the comment section. Let's actually read authentic information. Because the story is going, because something goes viral does not necessarily mean it's true. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying it doesn't necessarily. Until I see, I can say, okay, let me actually address what I have seen. Now, as you know, let's even say, I want to bring it back to our Nigeria, because unfortunately it is a very everyday man that has carried this thing on their heads. So let me address the everyday people, right? Now, if as a man, you now say, hey, you chase the woman out that has invested 20 years with you, 10 years with you. She quit her job and everything. She stayed at home and did all these jobs unpaid. And the marriage ends and you send her out, which some people did in the past. Before we begin to have some laws that kind of like, okay, you can even ask for alimony or whatever. There was a time there was nothing like that. The woman we chased away with absolutely nothing. Okay, let's even think about it. If a man decides that, okay, it's over, a woman goes with nothing. And then let's say as a man, the wife now goes. And let's say you share custody with a woman. So people actually believe that the children belong to the man too. The man has the right, the woman just go with nothing, not even with her children. But let's even say, okay, you now say 50-50, 50%. The children go to their mother and come to you. You built one mansion and you're doing well, right? So your children, when it's time, your children will come to your house and live in a nice house, have all these nice things. And when they go to their mother, they will be squatting in one place, one bedroom. And they'll be trekking to school and back. They will be suffering whenever they go to their mother, and they will enjoy when they come to you. What kind of a father would do that? I have left these people. Now I want to address the everyday people. When people think about chase a woman out and leave her in poverty, you don't think about, what about your children? When they go spend time with their mother, what environment are they going to live in? People don't think about that aspect. Let me even turn it around actually. Let me talk about this side. If this story was the other way around, and the woman they now said, everything I own have been given to my father. I own nothing. The story will be different though. People will say, how can a woman you married will be giving stuff to her father? Let's be balancing these things. If a woman should say that her salary goes to her father, hey, all hell for don't break loose. Why the double standard? You see me, I believe in fairness. I believe in fairness. Whether it benefits me or not, I believe in sticking with the truth. Sometimes flip something around and ask yourself, what is right? Another area I want to address is this. I don't know, that's why I say I don't see authentic information, because I don't understand where a court will say, a grown man will say my monthly salary goes to my mother. The court, let me tell you guys, court does not go by show me your money. They don't say what's in your bank account. They ask what is your salary. They don't ask for your bank. What is your salary? How much do you earn every month? They will not even ask you, okay, where is the money? No, they will ask you, what do you earn every month? I earn 10 euro. Madam, what do you earn every month? She says, I earn 1 euro. They will say, okay. These children, you have 2 children. And these children's standard of living is like this. This her 1 euro cannot maintain this standard. So from your 10 euro, they will not say, okay. They don't ask you where you keep a more. They don't. Court does not ask where is it. That's why I'm saying that this story no too makes sense to me. They will not say that your, what's it called now? That your 10 euro you're making, she's making 1 euro. Every month, you have to bring out for each child this amount. right? And for the woman, because there are two types, there are two angles: child support for the children and alimony for the spousal support for the wife, right? And some cases can be a lump sum. You pay it once and for all, and everybody go your separate ways, right? There are some cases they will say, okay, it's monthly. You have to pay this amount every month. They will look at how much do you make. And what happens is that it's deducted from your income before it even goes to your mother or your great-grandmother that is in the grave or whatever. That is how they do it. They don't ask where is it lying. They don't ask that. That's why I'm saying this story, to make sense. So it's getting too long. I don't want this video to be too long. But what I want to say is this. I just see so much pettiness and selfishness, and personally, I don't support greed. I don't support greed or selfishness. Whether it's coming from the man or from the woman, I don't support it at all. But I think people should focus on what makes sense, what is practical. They have two beautiful children. If they own, I use they because it's a joint thing. Marriage is not your own and my own. If you want to do that, sign a prenup from the beginning, right? So when you're already in a marriage, it is a union. It is a partnership, right? So at the end of the day, people should remove. Let me tell you guys, all the billions, whatever he owns, when he drops dead, he should be like children. My children get them, and when your children get them, the children will not leave their own mother. People know they think calm. When these children are of age, she be small and for at the time they take. These children they will be the one, whatever he owns belong to his children. Who is the mother of those children? The wife. When the time comes, now the same way he carry give his mama, his own children will carry give their mama. People don't think about these things. So today you can be saying my mother. Those children are his children, and that woman is their mama. You get my point? So all these things, sometimes I think I just laugh. People don't know this life is not, it's not the billions or whatever. He cannot go to the grave with it when the time comes. All this pettiness or whatever, it doesn't. And let me tell you guys, that guy, from what I understand, rich people, you see, don't forget, he's making money every month. He's still making more. There are cases where they've gone for a divorce and the woman gets this and gets that, and we hear that the man was left with nothing or barely anything. I am also not a fan of that. I believe in it being done in a way that nobody needs to suffer. Everybody, just as they smile, enter marriage, they go their separate ways. It doesn't have to become a war. This is my opinion about it. There are amicable ways to do it. Go your separate ways. I always tell people, when people separate peacefully without ending each other's life, that is the biggest win people can have in a marriage. And this is why some people will go and silently delete each other, and then so they can easily get it without all this unnecessary drama. This life is once. Some of these things are too petty. I have seen men that ended marriages and they say, make sure that woman lives starving and hungry and wretched and suffering, and they enjoy seeing the suffering. I'm talking about Nigerian society now, right? And that is the mother of your children. As much as your own mother is precious to you, those your precious children, their mother is precious to them. Personally, all these things are unnecessary. Personally, that's how I feel about it. Let me end this by saying this. Like I said, I have not found authentic information to make sure this story is true. But this is how I feel about it. If I get more information, I may come back and make another video to address it. I believe that people should seek in divorce. They should look for peace in divorce. People should go their separate ways peacefully. Money, all these things, when people that are already rich or whatever, all these things, I feel like there's better way to go separate ways peacefully without drama, and just co-parent in peace. Let the children have the best life. That is, for me, what is the best interest of the children. As always, this is my opinion, and as always, whatever your opinions are, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.